Hey guys, welcome to the first episode of Black Faces Creative Spaces. This is a series that I decided to start on my channel to discuss influential Black creatives within the fashion industry. Each week I will discuss a different creative, whether it's a photographer, an editor, a journalist, whoever it may be. I just want to be able to bring you guys a little bit more awareness and also some encouragement so that you can see that there are people of color within the fashion industry paving waves for people like ourselves or others who may be getting started within the fashion industry or introduced to the fashion industry. New episodes will premiere every Tuesday at 7 p.m. so make sure that you are tuned in and make sure that you have your notification bell turned on. In today's episode, we are going to be discussing Elaine Welteroth, who is the former editor-in-chief of Teen Vogue. But before we get into it, I am going to start with a quote of the day. So let's go. Today's quote is, "When I liberate myself, I liberate others," by Fannie Lou Hamer. Now, let's get down into today's video. I'm really excited for this episode. If you guys enjoy it, please make sure to leave feedback down below because I definitely want to continue growing this series and making it a thing, making it a fun thing for everyone. So, for those of you who don't know who Elaine Welteroth is, she is the former editor-in-chief of Teen Vogue. She's also a journalist and a New York Times best-selling author. She is the author of the book More Than Enough, which was published in 2019. What's so special about Elaine is that at the time that she was appointed as editor-in-chief of Teen Vogue, she was the youngest person to ever hold the title in Condé Nast history, as well as being the second Black person in a 107-year history to ever hold the title as editor-in-chief in Condé Nast. So I felt like she's a super influential person and she paved a lot of ways and she really transformed Teen Vogue into what it is today. She was also the first Black beauty editor at Teen Vogue when she received the position back in 2012. As well as being a judge for Project Runway, she has a lot of accomplishments under her belt. So I want to start off talking about Elaine's early life so that you guys can get more of an idea of who she is and exactly why her appointment at Teen Vogue was so important. So Elaine grew up in a biracial family. Her mother is Black and her father is white. And I watched a few interviews of her recounting her very first memory in life. And I'm just gonna let the clip play here so that you guys can see exactly what her first memory was.
I remember like being so confused. Like I remember being in preschool and being one of the only brown kids in the class. We were asked to do an assignment where we had to make a collage of our families. So everyone's like looking through magazines and I'm flipping through my magazines and then everyone's like starting. And I'm like, wait, but I don't see anybody who looks like my mom or me or my brother in these magazines. I got a lot of white dad options, but where are the like Black people? And I didn't actually know I was Black. I didn't know my mom was Black. I just knew I couldn't see anyone who looked like my mom. And this is my very first memory in life. And so it was the first time I was like, oh, I'm different. Oh, is something wrong with me? Wait, hold on. Why can't I see myself in these magazines? And
so that was her first memory in life and her first introduction to Black people and Black representations in magazines, which I thought was super cool because it relates to exactly what she did. Her first break into the magazine industry was when she interned at Ebony Mags. So she actually applied for a position at Ebony and at Essence. She loved Essence magazine, but Harriet Cole, who was the editor-in-chief at the time of Ebony magazine, Elaine really loved Cole and looked up to her a lot, so she decided to reach out to her. After several failed attempts, Cole eventually reached out to Elaine and told her to come assist on set for a cover shoot for Serena Williams. And because of her work ethic and how hard she was working, eventually Cole took Elaine under her wing and made her assistant. After assisting Cole for a while, she ended up becoming the beauty and style editor for Ebony Mag from 2008 until 2011. In 2012, Elaine worked as Teen Vogue's beauty and health director, and she was the first Black person to hold this position. In an interview, Elaine talks about how she remembers how she had to become an expert at white beauty products, But when it was time for her colleagues to talk about Black beauty products, it wasn't really being brought up. So she really worked hard to change that narrative. She made sure that there were discussions held on why there was not Black representation for these magazines, because you have teenagers, Black, white, red, purple, everyone reading Teen Vogue as something to look up to, but they were not being represented, which goes back to when Elaine was about, I think she was 3 at the time when she had her first memory, and how she was not represented in the magazine. In 2017, Condé Nast appointed Elaine as the editor-in-chief of Teen Vogue, and at the time she didn't even realize how big of an accomplishment it was until people started to reach out to her on social media and praised her for the fact that they felt that change was being brought into the industry, with her being this Black woman in a powerful position within the fashion industry. In her time at Teen Vogue, Elaine was able to really transform the magazine. They started a YouTube channel. They cut down how many print publications were going out, and I think now Teen Vogue is strictly digital and online. And just during her tenure, she brought a lot of political attention to Teen Vogue so that teenage girls were able to learn about politics and learn about why it's important to be educated on topics such as voting. And they even covered the 2016 election fully when Trump was appointed as president. So Teen Vogue has really transformed into talking about not only political issues, but also societal issues and social justice issues that have been always occurring, which I think is so amazing. Teen Vogue eventually became a publication known for celebrating all cultures, all identities, instead of worshiping the typical white, cis, heterosexual woman. According to Condé Nast, subscriptions increased 535% year over year during her tenure, which I think is amazing. Like, she was really able to bring this magazine back to life because she had fresh ideas that she was able to bring just based on her experiences and based on her main mission, which was to make sure that people like her were represented within this magazine. In 2018, Elaine resigned from Teen Vogue and she signed with talent agency CAA. Since then, she has released her book, More Than Enough. I'll make sure to link it so that you guys can purchase it. But I really feel that Elaine just really paved the way for publications to understand how important it is for representation to be present within the fashion industry. Once Elaine left Teen Vogue, Lindsay Peoples-Wagner, who is another Black woman, was appointed as editor-in-chief of Teen Vogue, and she's able to continue the legacy that Elaine started at Teen Vogue, which I think is so beautiful. And she's also now the youngest editor-in-chief appointed at Condé Nast, because she was 28 and Elaine was 29 when she started her position as editor-in-chief. So I think it's such an amazing thing. I feel that Elaine is the perfect example of paving the way for Black creatives, other Black young creatives who are looking to really dominate in the fashion industry. So before we head out, I want to give you guys 3 Black owned brands this week that you should check out or that you should shop from. The first brand is Telfar. Telfar was founded by Telfar Clemens. It's a unisex brand. They sell clothes and accessories, but they're known mainly for their Telfar shopping bag, which has been phrased as the Brooklyn Birkin. These bags are made of 100% vegan leather. The bags come in 3 sizes and they range in price from $150 all the way to $257, which is not really that big of a jump. But I feel like if you guys are interested in shopping new brands, you should definitely check out Telfar because it's an amazing brand. The second label that I'm sure you guys are familiar with is Martine Rose. Martine Rose was founded by Martine Rose. It's named after the designer, and this is a menswear, ready-to-wear brand. This brand is inspired by Rose's Jamaican British heritage and musical interests, and they carry a variety of garments and accessories. So if you guys are interested, you should make sure to check out Martine Rose. And the last brand that I want to discuss this week is Brother Vellies. Brother Vellies is a brand that was founded in 2013 by Aurora James. and this is a Brooklyn-based brand. James founded this brand in hopes of keeping traditional African design practices and techniques alive. This is a luxury accessories brand. They have shoes, I think they have bags as well, and just amazing. And this is a sustainable brand as well, so they have items made from vegetable tan leathers and even floral dyed feathers. So if you guys want, you should make sure to check out these brands. I hope that you guys enjoyed the first episode of Black Faces Creative Spaces. I will be doing another episode next week. If you guys have any questions, comments, feedback, make sure to please leave it down below, because I do want to grow this into something really amazing, and I hope that this video was informative for you. Please let me know down below if it is, and I will see you in the next video. So thank you guys so much for tuning in today.